And off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. LaShawn McCoy, the 31-year-old running back, his first carry. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now McCoy. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. The shotgun snap for Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A week ago, they dominated in the trenches. They got in the backfield for 5 sacks, setting the tone there, one on the opening drive.
And it sets the tone for the opposing team, doesn't it? Remember when you were a kid and you went to the theater and saw that horror movie and it stuck with you for a while and you were a little bit jumpy? Well, if you saw 5 sacks the previous week and you're the quarterback, he might be a little jumpy as well. Might throw off his timing.
Yeah, it'd be jumpy, but sorry, Bob and Linda wouldn't let me see a PG movie until I was 17.
Well, that's just good parenting.
Set, ready? 90 wolf. 54 pounds. Come on. Check. Crunch. What? Squeeze. Shoot.
Here's the former number 2 pick, the Pro Bowler Saquon Barkley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 24-yard line.
Set. 50. Plant.
58 right there. Come on. You better bring it. Show it up. Kill.
Leo.
Watch that.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley.
He's checking.
7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up. That's something we saw over and over again in Barkley's rookie season. He had 91 catches last year, most ever by a rookie running back. Part of a fantastic rookie campaign that saw him go over 2,000 total yards.
Check three. Whip. Watch the whip. Watch out.
Smooth.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That one good for 13 and a Charger first. A 1st down carry for Barkley. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Watch the boot. Patch it.
Hey, Sam off. Ready?
The toss out to Barkley. And down inside the 15 he goes. It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
He'll drop to throw. And it's caught. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
70, Indy.
Check 26, check 26. Switch.
Hey.
And Barkley will try to punch it in. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and goal.
At the 3-yard line.
Switch.
Topper.
2nd and 3. And he's got it. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. His 4th touchdown on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Chiefs' offense about set to begin this drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
You got 3 down.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. He rifles one that's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Slam. Watch twist. Check safety.
On play action, they'll throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a 2nd and long after the holding call. After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Set. 250.
After the penalty, it's McCoy. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Danny Shelton in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. So the punt rolls out of bounds, and they'll have pretty good field position here up near the 40-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. On third and short. They'll try and pick it up through the air. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Charger first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Cameron Jordan in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On second down, here's Barkley. 9 yards on the gain there, so he got half of it back, and it'll be third down. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. On third down, Barkley. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to fourth down. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
To be frank, a silly penalty there trying to block the field goal, and that leads to a fresh set of downs.
54's Mike. 54's Mike.
A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Under 10, 10. Check down.
On second down now, Barkley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was third and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
The kick by Pinheiro is good, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to
And now this is intercepted. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. They find some open field here. Trying to get it to Woods. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. But the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, Just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
The Charger drive about to get going. A new life now following the late turnover. Maybe a chance for points here before the break.
Yeah, pretty nice situation they find themselves in because they're really maybe one completion away from giving their kicker a shot, and that gives them a chance to get some points up on the board.
Yes, yes.
58, boys, 58, 58.
Hey, echo. Don't get nervous.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number one. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long.
Go. Get it.
Now Saquon Barkley. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. Third and long. And the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
61, matchbox, lights. Out.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now.
Intended for Calvin Ridley. Incomplete.
On is the Chargers punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And now a high kick trying to pin him back. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Charger drive about to get going. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. 2nd and 13. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The intended target was Calvin Ridley, but now it'll be 3rd down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football, but you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away, and it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Pulled in at the 24. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of that?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie linebacker from LSU, Devin White. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach...
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 24. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. On 2nd and 9, Stafford. This one into the hands of Burton. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Again, it's McCoy. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Lady! Hurry! You better be ready. Don't be scared.
They'll try and pick up the first and goal. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. Here we go on 4th. Stafford. He's got his tight end, Burton. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They can't stop Bruce Irvin there as he slips in for the sack.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. The last time we saw Jason Witten on a football field instead of the broadcasting booth was, of course, 2 years ago, 2017. He had 63 catches, 560 yards, 5 touchdowns. It was his 11th Pro Bowl that season for a man who came into the league back in 2003. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He gets this one to Boyd. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
60 out long. Squeeze, double up. Under.
They'll run on 1st down. Barkley. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Crunch time, defense. Check, crunch. Check. Lucky.
Shoot up. Shoot.
Back to throw. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. The defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
It's 3rd down. 3rd and long.
Come on, set. 30 base. General West.
It's our time.
On the run, it's Barkley. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA with a sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. The second down attempt there, knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
To throw is Stafford. Looking. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 33 yards that time. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
Don't get nervous. Kill.
Out of the gun, Stafford. And his throw is incomplete. He was trying to find Anthony Miller there. And now it's 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Mike 8.
2nd and 10, Stafford again. Caught by Jones. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 25-yard line. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now a 1st down carry here for McCoy. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
It's a pickup of 3.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Big hit.
So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Stafford throwing on target to Jones. And I think the ball's out. And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 13-yard line. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. On 1st down, it's McCoy. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Back to the ground, this time with Gore. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Only gets a yard, but it's enough to set him up 1st and goal. They'll try and push it in with Gore. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Frank Gore, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs are able to cut into this lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that will get them one closer. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And this is going to be taken in by the Chargers, and it appears they're going to win this football game. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all, and if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go.
I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
He completes it to Boyd. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Catch number 44 of on the year. It's a first down. They'll run on first down. Barkley. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. So celebration down on the field for a good, hard-fought victory here. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the one touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense. No